Hi there, it's Ruth at Artfulstampin, and I'm so excited to bring you a new crafting video. Sorry I've not done one for a couple of weeks. I have finally had a chance to play with some of the new products out of the new catalogue. Today we're going to be using Happy Birthday Gorgeous and the fabulous die that matches with it. If you purchase the two together you get 10% off. So in this stamp set, don't overlook this stamp set, it is fabulous. It has lots of brilliant sentiments and greetings, great for if you're a beginner stamper or if you just want to perhaps update your fonts with your greetings and things. Now the thing that got me really excited about this stamp set were all these lovely little bits and pieces. I personally love creating backgrounds and creating pictures with the stamps, so this is just perfect. And then having this really lovely bold kind of cutout that can be the focal point of your your card is just fantastic. So let's get started. I've already cut out the greeting with in Tranquil Tide cardstock, which is one of the new in colours, and that's just a die to show you. You kind of know what that looks like. And I'm going to be stamping onto Whisper White. Now I've got under here my mat, and I'm going to just pop that underneath my grid paper because I'm using photopolymer stamps. They don't have that extra little bit of give, so it's good to have the mat underneath. Right, so I've already got some of these stamps out ready to play with, and I'll just get this rest of those stamps there ready too. I've chosen Tranquil Tide, Soft Sky and So Saffron to play with today. Now, you can go two ways with this. Either you can, and here's a card I made earlier, I've always wanted to be a Blue Peter presenter, you can put the design around the edge there, or you can have it kind of radiating from the centre and having it go outwards. Now, I would say if you are doing a lot of stamping behind the wording, to make sure that you don't use too dark inks, because you want it to actually stand out and pop. Now you could perhaps put do a white or a very vanilla cutout. That would look quite fun. The other thing that you can do is also multi-layer. So if you cut out two, you can create a bit of a kind of shadow effect by sticking one on top of the other, and that can help to make the image pop a little bit more as well. So that's another option. Right, so I'm just going to go have a blank piece of paper and see where it takes me. There are still a few stamps in here that I haven't used yet, so my challenge to myself is to perhaps use some that I've not used. So we've got quite a few two-step stamping flowers in this set. This lovely little, what I call the Mary Quant daisy, made famous in the 60s. Actually, I'll tell you another tip I'm going to give you is sometimes when I'm stamping I need to have a lighter version, so I stamp off. Now the other day when I was stamping off, I would just stamp onto my grid paper, and I thought, now it wouldn't actually be useful to stamp off onto a piece of cardstock itself, and then I can use that one later. So that's what I'm going to do. There we go, top tip for today. Let's see how this works out. So I'm stamping off and then I'm stamping on. And so you actually end up with two cards for the price of one, as it were. There we go. Let's see how this works out. And I'm actually almost doing it mirror image, so there we go. Not even having to think about it too hard either, apart from making sure I'm stamping correctly. There we go. Ooh, this is quite a fun little technique. I think I'm going to promote this in my classes. Okay, so in we'll go with the second one. Now, Stampin' Up! Make it so easy for us. They've created these little notches at the top so that you know how to line up your stamp. Now, this will just take a little bit more time, so I'll come back to you. Right, so that's the outline done around those flowers. I want to do a few more other floral elements, so I'm going to use the rose, the two roses here, and I've discovered that you can actually layer these two up together to create quite a fun little flower. There are outlines that you can stamp on top, but I'm not going to use it that way today. I'm just going to stamp. I'm just going to see. Now, see, I think that's a bit too light, so it might be that we don't do that. There we go. Right, we're not going to do stamping off technique this time. Ooh, forgot to. There we go. I'm just going to focus in on this card now. We'll leave that one for another day. So I'm just stamping the roses all around the edge of the card, trying to fill in some of the gaps. Then take the little mini rose and pop that in the centre of the bigger one. And this just gives it a little bit more volume and a bit more depth, which is quite fun. There we go. Now, I love foliage. I love being able to fill in the gaps with some pretty leaves. And you grab that one, pop that on a block, have that one ready to use. And now I've never used this one here. I don't know what it is. I'm not quite sure what it's meant to be used for, but I'm sure we'll figure it out. So I've got Tranquil Tide here. Now, remember I said to you not to have too much of a dark colour near the happy birthday, so I've just brought that back in to give me a rough idea of where I need to be placing these leaves. I don't want to have it interfere too much with my design. Sorry, not my design, my sentiment. Because the sentiment is quite a busy font. I don't want to detract from it too much. There we go. I think that will be enough. And just bring this little leaf in here. And I'm just stamping and stamping off little clusters, 2 leaf clusters. And as you can see, it's really easy to build up a pretty kind of image around what you're doing. Now, where's that funny tassely thing? It sort of looks like hangy tassels, but anyway, we'll see. See what it looks like. Oh, I've used it in the blue. Did I want it in the blue? No, I didn't. I'll go for the Tranquil Tide. Let's do that, see if I can get that over there. It's just another fun texture, really, this tassely thing. Okay. Right. And then I just want a little bit more of the yellow in here as well. Now, I was so excited to discover this little twirly-whirly thing, like tendrils. And I've always been fascinated by tendrils growing on plants. I had a passion flower last year in my garden, and I love the way it would just grab onto anything. Sweet peas do it as well, don't they? And in card making over the years, I've often used wire to sort of emulate that look. So to actually have it in a stamp form is super exciting. It's instantaneous tendrils, wonderful. And I'm just scattering those around like I would, sometimes I have a splatter stamp that I just stamp around, but I'm not doing that today, so I'm doing it with the tendrils. I love it. Go anywhere, really. Brilliant. Right, so all that needs to be done is to mount this up. Now, Stampin' Up! Have started selling these wonderful adhesive sheets that, naughty me, I forgot to order for my last order. So I can't yet show you how they work. However, my top tip for sticking these down is to have a Tombow that works, for one. Oh, here we go. Let's start off with a brand new one. That will work, won't it? and just put little tiny dots of glue onto the back of here. Very, very tiny. That's almost too big actually, that one there. If that happens, just pick it up with the nozzle and place the excess somewhere else, because Tombow really is a super duper glue and you don't need a lot of it. I had a lady come to my class the other day and she knew how good Tombow was, and she literally was popping a dot in every corner of her cards because she knew it would hold it. I tend to do a little bit more, but it really is good stuff. Okay, I think that will be fine. And then the trick is to get it down pretty straight, so you don't need to move it, and then just hold it for a few seconds. I'm just going to place that down and then just hold it down. Now it might actually be easier just to flip it over and give it a good rub that way, so that way you're not moving it around afterwards. And there we go, all done. So a lovely stamped card with the focal point being the happy birthday. And I'll just bring a couple of other ones that I've done just to show you the kind of different options on there with that stamp set. Now I'll be playing loads more with this stamp set because there's so much you can do with it, so hopefully I'll be doing that again soon. Okay, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to go to artfulstampin.co.uk if you like what you see and you'd like to purchase any of the products you see today, and do follow me or subscribe to me if you don't already. Okay, take care for now. Bye.